This is a jumpsuit. I am not naked. Also, there is a mirror behind me so you can see that I'm not naked. I'm sitting on my feet, and I did this yesterday, and my feet nearly died, so we'll see how this goes. I also filmed this entire video yesterday, and I was really unhappy with the lighting. You may be thinking, Kyla, this lighting is not good anyway. You should have seen it. So we're gonna go again. The purpose of the video was to test new products. The first one I'm going to give a go is the Urban Decay Quick Fix. But again, I have already tried these products because I tried them yesterday. So I can kind of give you a bit of a more well-rounded review as well. So the Quick Fix is supposed to be a hydrating spray. I'll tell you what it says. Will I though? Hydro-charged complexion prep priming spray. So although I am still very oily, I am 33 and I would rather have that hydrated, dewy, oily look than matte and dry. I've passed over to the other side now, and I'm blotting less, I'm powdering less. That's just kind of the zone that I'm in. When I was at Urban Decay, she was saying, maybe you'd prefer this. No. I need the one that's hydrating, because she was talking about the balancing one. And maybe at some point I might try that, but I'm not there right now. The foundation I'm going to use is the Hello Happy, the new Hello Happy. And look what I found. This is from Makeup Obsession. I mentioned in another video that I was looking for another kind of buffing brush. And I found this in a drawer. It took me forever to wash because I don't know how long it had been in that drawer. And it was really dense. It's literally taken 2 days to dry. But I couldn't use this yesterday, so perhaps this was fate. But I remember loving this brush way back when, and Real Techniques have brought out some brushes that are really, really similar to these recently. I don't know if this one's still available, but I really do like this kind of, it's incredibly dense to the point where there's like almost no movement. I like that. So this foundation, I like it. It's a very similar finish to the original Hello Happy, which I love. Oh my god, I'm getting a spot right in the middle of my eyebrows. Isn't that great? I'm just going to do this, I think, probably. I think I'm blocking a lot of the light out with the accoutrement I've got on this desk. I've got a big mirror. I'll show you what I've got on the desk. There you go. I've got a big mirror and a big camera. It's probably not the best way to go, is it? Yeah, the Hello Happy foundation is very, very similar to the original. Similar finish. I would say they last the same amount of time, because I did come back and show how the makeup was wearing yesterday, which I don't think we're going to do today. I'm just going to kind of talk about it, because I already did that yesterday. Not that you were there, but I know. And it's just very, very similar. The coverage is similar. I would say it's just a little bit drier. This is the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. The original kind of moves around on your face a little bit. It's got kind of a silicone-y, it's a soft blur foundation, and it's got like a silicone-y kind of vibe, whereas this one doesn't. This one really does set. So I would say that's the main difference. It's just kind of the texture of the two products, but both of the products give a really similar look. I would say the first one is just a little more blurring. If you like those kind of primers, like what's it called, Professional, that kind of thing, you might really, really like the original. Whereas if you're more of a colour stay, that type of texture of a foundation, then you might prefer the new one. Right, I'm gonna now put on some setting spray. This is the Urban Decay Chill. I like to layer it throughout the process, especially when it's a warm day like today. So I'm gonna put a little bit on now while I decide what else I'm gonna put on my face. Also, liquid liner wise, you see, just too many products. Liquid liner wise, the Epic liner from NYX is just the best, the creme de la creme of liquid eyeliners. And apparently it doesn't feel the same way about me, because it has run away from home. Yesterday I wore it, and I thought it was a really good test day yesterday because it was very, very humid, just really muggy, gross weather, and it lasted all day. I was really, really impressed. So the eyeshadow that I'm planning on wearing is the Skindinavia Viseart. I saw this and I thought that reminded me of the Skindinavia from the Urban Decay setting sprays. The Viseart that I mentioned the other day. I'm so thirsty. I'm also very conscious that it's like pre-work filming and I always run over. Always, always, always. I'm going to just put on some of this NYX Proof It. I also did something yesterday that I think was the wrong move. And I put on my powder, which we will talk about because I love this powder, but it's expensive and a bit of a gimmick. I put on my powder before I put on the most of my makeup. And I saw something the other day that kind of blew my mind because I've never even considered this and I haven't seen anybody else talk about this. Maybe it's just me. Did you know that HD powders create a barrier and you can't apply, well, you can apply but not easily and they don't stay. You can't apply other products over the top of them. Did you know that? Also this, I think I might maybe need to get a little bit more of this primer because it's kind of not great. It's gone a little bit oily and not tacky like it usually does. Yeah, apparently HD powders. I saw this woman, this makeup artist on IGTV, which by the way I'm like totally watching IGTV now. I watched a whole thing about intermittent fasting while I was waiting for my video to upload because I can't leave the app. So then I watched videos. I was like, this is interesting. Which is not the 5-2 by the way. It's not full on fasting. It's like so many hours a day. It's a whole thing. Anyway, so this woman was doing swatches and she put all these different setting powders on her arm and then she put the HD setting powder on her arm and nothing stuck to it. So like she would try and swatch things over the top and it just like slid off. It was insane. I've never seen anything like it. It was crazy. I also am really struggling. The one thing this Viseart palette is missing is a mirror in the lid. I can't really see what I'm doing. Yeah, that primer may be past its best. I have used it a ton, but this eyeshadow has not gone on nicely over the top of it. That being said, I have never tried this eyeshadow over the top of it. It looks really chalky, not pretty at all. And it is very much that primer is very much a, like it sticks the product down, but this is not pretty. Yeah, I put on my powder and I don't think it was an HD powder, but I felt like nothing. This is not even true. As I'm saying this, I know it's not true because my blush, my products on my cheeks worked really well. It was actually the eyeshadow. And because even now I'm struggling with this eyeshadow, I knew how expensive it was. This palette was £69. It was sent to me. I did talk about it in a previous video. And I said, I don't care how expensive it is. I don't care how expensive it is. I don't care how amazing it is. It's too expensive for me to spend £69. Like, I'm just never going to spend £69 on an eyeshadow palette. You know, fair enough if you are. This is not me. And it's not even like I'm prepared to spend stupid money for other things. I get that. But there's something about, you've always got a limit for certain things. You know, like you go in Primark and you know you'll spend a certain amount of money. But once something's £25, you're like, Primark, really? And so I tried the palette and I thought, wow, it really is amazing. And if this was the only palette that I had and I was really happy with the colours and all that, then maybe I would pay £69. And then I went to talk about it yesterday and it just wasn't kind of working for me. And I thought, oh, maybe it's the powder. And now again, it's had a similar thing with this primer. And now I'm thinking, maybe it's just not as amazing as I initially thought it was. Maybe. Anyway, we'll get to the powder in a second because it is really funky. So this is the Epic Ink Liquid Liner. I'm feeling like I made a mistake. Because I was so mindful of the powder thing, I haven't powdered and I always would have powdered at this point. And nothing is going right. And maybe it's the powder step because I've put on that primer and it's kind of made my face sticky. Not primer, setting spray. I sprayed that spray. It's kind of made my entire face tacky. And now I feel like, is it that? Okay, that'll do. This is kind of what I was talking about the other day. What is wrong with me? It's kind of what I was talking about the other day when I was talking about kind of like a half liquid liner to try and preserve a little bit of lid space. I also realised I've just put that right in the middle. And I'm enjoying this. This is kind of more than I would usually do because that's what happens when it goes wrong. But I really like that. Just like a little bit of wings and I bring it a little bit onto the lid, but not too much. Okay, so that's pretty much eyes. I'll do my mascara now, actually. I'm just going to do that at the end with the powder, but hey. And next we're going to go into something very exciting. So I spent my boots points on this, and it might have been a mistake because it was so expensive, but a couple of people mentioned this to me. We were doing a live, Emma and I, on an Instagram. So we do an Instagram live on a Monday night. If you want to join us, it's 7:30, and we do it every single Monday, and it's super fun. And often I get drunker and drunker as we do it because I'll have a glass of wine. And one of these, we were talking about different products or stuff we wanted to use or whatever it was, and a couple of people said I needed to try the Hydra Mist from Becca, which is like a cooling powder. And after that, a couple of people told me in the YouTube comments that I needed to try. I was like, what? And it's not even new, so I don't know what it was. I don't know if someone all of a sudden has been talking about it, but here it is. It's the Hydra Mist Set and Refresh Powder. 30-something pounds this was. Oh, but like I say, I spent my boost points on it. And it seemed like a gimmick, but also I do like a loose powder for setting. Often they are very, very flattering. I really, really love the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. So this is the craziest powder I've ever used in my entire life. It looks like a powder. Can we all just observe? It does indeed look like a powder. It is a powder. It's on my brush. It's a powder. But when you put it on your face, initially, it feels like water. And it's something like 50% water. Super hydrating. It's supposed to be very flattering on fine lines, especially like under your eyes and stuff. Really, really nice for touch-ups. So, you know, like for example, I mean, the only time I would ever touch up my makeup really, but look, also it's really getting rid of, really knocking out all of that shine. The only time I would really ever get rid of, it's before work, and I don't function very well in the morning times. I usually film videos in the afternoons. What was I going to say? The only time I would ever retouch my makeup is today, basically. I'm going to go out for tea with my friend. So I'm doing my makeup in the morning for work, and then later on I'll come back and touch up. I don't want to have to take the whole thing off again and start all over. And so I will touch up my makeup. And this is beautiful for this. It doesn't kind of cake or look funky. It's really, really pretty. But that initial cooling sensation is out of this world. It's cold. Oh my goodness. It's happening. My feet are going to sleep. It's cold, but it's also legitimately wet feeling. It's so bizarre, and a really, really pretty powder. But very, very expensive. I would love to know if you guys have tried it. Apparently Makeup Revolution have just brought out a 50% water powder, so maybe I'll give that one a go. Something else that I have been enjoying recently, it's not new per se. Where is the funky brush? But something that's kind of relatively new to me because I haven't really done contouring very much in the past. You can see that I'm like adjusting my feet slightly. This is the Kevin Aquan contouring, what's it called? Sculpting powder? Sculpting powder. So I've never really done contouring before, and I've been kind of dabbling with it a little bit recently, and I've been doing like a V here because I've never really known where do I contour, what's it all about. And so to make it a little bit easier for myself, I kind of considered it to be like painting, which of course it is. That's what, you know, we're blending makeup, etc. And that is effectively, makeup is art. And so I kind of thought, right, well, I'll draw a little triangle and I'll just try and blend it as if I was kind of shading with a pencil, which sounds ridiculous if you're good at this kind of thing, but I'm super not. So I started kind of trying a little bit of something, and then I'll take it a little bit underneath my jaw because this is, you know, the jaw I wish I had. I really, truly, I actually tried something. I was sent for a product review, but it was a service review of, I think it was called Cool Sculpt, something like that, or Strawberry Lift, where it was supposed to lift your double chin. Now, I mentioned this to people, and of course, I don't think I have a crazy double chin, but I don't really have a defined jaw. And I was really looking forward to this, thinking it was going to be amazing, and it just wasn't. Initially it did something great, but it really wasn't all that great. Okay, I'm going to have to like just take 5 for my feet. Okay, we're going to power through. I really need to buy myself like a little stool. I need like a half stool. Even that might be too big, actually. I don't know. It's really awkward. I can't sit on my feet. My circulation is just not that good to begin with. I really can't. So anyway, I've been doing a bit of contouring to bring it back. Oh, this is a bit much, isn't it? I don't know. See, I've been trying it out, and then the other day I filmed something. I went and filmed a podcast with someone, and I saw the video afterwards, and it was the day when I'd been like, I'm going to give this a go, and I loved it. I thought it looked really good, and the highlighting powder that comes in this little duo, this is like a mini I bought from Sephora a million years ago, is so pretty. It's gorgeous. I just thought I really need to kind of persevere with that a little bit, and so I have, but I definitely have not perfected it. But I don't know. Right, so I'm going to use that highlighter of dreams. It's called the Celestial powder. You can buy this on its own. I actually bought this because I've never been into contouring. I bought this mini because the mini was cheaper than the full-size Celestial powder. I wasn't sure if I'd like it. I probably wanted to try the contour powder at some point, but look at that. There are a few highlights I'm really into right now. Would you guys be interested in a video specifically on kind of like glowy products? Because this is like, pow, love it so much. I think it's so pretty. I also was doing something similar to this on Instagram or IGTV the other day, and someone asked about how, like, the placement and where I apply things. I apply highlight all the way from here up to here. I used to do it in this little bit, but I don't like the way it accentuates that kind of around my eye area. And then I apply just a little bit of blush. And my blush of choice right now, which draws it in, is this Clinique Peach Pop. And I use this big fluffy brush, and I just apply a little bit right on the apples of my cheeks for like a little pop of pink. I think that's kind of a nice summer flush. So if I use, I mean, that's quite a sheeny blush anyway, but if I use any blush, I always do it over the top of the highlighter, because I think it kind of comes through, but it also, especially if it's a matte blush, knocks it down a little bit here. I think it's the prettiest way to apply it. So highlighter first and then blush. We're pretty much done. Right, I will do a little bit of lip gloss, but first I'm going to do some dry shampoo. So I mentioned recently that I've been trying out some different dry shampoos that I have given up on. And one of them was Collab. This is the Collab Active. I don't know if this is a special one, but I have used this a couple of times now, and I feel very differently about it than I did initially. So it's worth noting, I mean, I did pay for this, I bought this. It's worth noting that when I talked about a different dry shampoo, Ruth from A Model Recommends did comment on that video and offered to send me some Collab. She didn't, it wasn't a thing, this is not what this is. I went out and bought this because it was already on my list to do. But it is worth noting in case you saw that, this is not like a hidden ad. A couple of things. With trying different ones, I've realised that every single one has an optimum way to be applied. Like Batiste is basically powder. So less is more. I tend to go a little bit heavy. It's best to apply it at night time in my experience, because when you apply it at night time, then it's got time to kind of be absorbed. All the oil kind of absorbs the Batiste, and you don't really have to work very hard and you don't get that white cast. But you can still do it in the morning as long as you're a little bit more careful, or if your hair is not like that dark. I know there are dark ones. I don't like those because it would get everywhere. They're messy. They're then all over my hands. I don't like it. But I understand that they are there. Other ones that I have written off in the past, like the Aussie one, I put it in my hair and it was like hairspray. It was like wet. I thought, oh my God, this is terrible. And I just thought, this is not for me. And then when I revisited it, I let it sit in my hair like I'm doing right now. So I put it all in my hair. It was all wet and gross. Let it sit in my hair for maybe a couple of minutes, and then I started rubbing it in. So I was rubbing it in as if I was washing my hair. And I found that it mattified. As I was kind of working it in, it mattified. And although like my hair looked great, it looked volumized, it looked clean, it didn't give me that nice feeling that I like. I mean, Batiste, definitely you can feel the product in your hair. It kind of just feel like, but it doesn't feel crispy or gross at all. Whereas the Aussie one, it gave volume and it gave me the look of clean hair, but I didn't like how it felt. Now this, I always said, didn't give enough oomph for my hair because my hair gets quite greasy. So this is like third day hair and I haven't dry shampooed it all yet. So at this point I would definitely be reaching for Batiste, and I wouldn't have said that Collab would have done the trick. But as I applied it, she said shake well, which I now sounds like a complete cop-out, like something that brands say on social media. But I thought, well, this is legit, like they're all very different. So shake well, and someone else told me I need to hold the can further away from my head. So I did both of those things. And I have found it to be actually a really nice dry shampoo. It doesn't give me, it's hard if you are used to the Batiste and you're used to that very almost chalky matte look, to kind of be objective and go, wait, is that actually the optimum? Is that the goal? And for me, it's not. That's just the only thing that's really worked up until now. Whereas this, it doesn't feel like when I can run my hands through my hair and my hair does not feel like it's got anything in it at all. That's major, because I don't like that. That's the thing that I really, really don't like. And it knocks out a lot of that, like my hair was really quite greasy. It knocks out a lot of that oiliness. You can kind of see a little bit that it's still, I mean, I could probably stand to put a little bit more on, truth be told, on the area I decided to part my hair. But it kind of, to me, it doesn't make my hair look freshly washed, but it kind of makes my hair look like day 2 hair, which I'm perfectly happy with. It looks kind of natural. It doesn't look like it's got a load of stuff in it. It doesn't feel gross. See there? Okay, I think that's perfect now. It looks good. I mean, the one problem with when I do this with my hair is I get crazy hair. I think I need my hair cutting. I think it's about time. When it gets to this kind of length and I'm not really doing anything with it, it's very straggly, isn't it? Maybe I'll go like to here. Or maybe I just need to find a style. I need to start actually styling my hair. How about that? So yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I'm possibly changing my mind about collabs. So many people liked it and I didn't really understand it. And I think that I just wrote it off a little bit too soon. So yeah, I wanted to mention that. And I wore a completely different lip yesterday, but I think I'm going to wear this one today. Which one? I don't think this is currently available, is the only problem. How about then instead we'll do this. This is the extra lip tint from Bobbi Brown. It's basically like a balm with a tint. Super pretty, perfect summer lip. And it is very, very hydrating as well. So that is going to be mine. It's kind of trying new things and kind of not, because there were some new things in there, but I also think I'm going to do a video of products that you guys have influenced me to buy, like this. So many products that you've told me, oh, you need to try this, you need to try that. I'm starting to make a list, but let me know if you'd be interested in that as well. So yeah, that was a little get ready with me. We haven't done this in ages. Way better lighting than yesterday. Happy to have refilmed. And I can tell you that all of the above lasts pretty well on my face, because yesterday in the super humid heat it really did. The only thing I would mention, I would probably do the spritz again, but I'm not going to, because I already did it in the middle, and I don't want to kind of bring down the finish that I've got with that powder. It's so pretty. So the main thing that I would mention is this. If you are tending to prefer like a drier texture, you'll probably like this more than the original. It does set. My feet are falling off my legs right now, so I'm going to go. Otherwise, I'm going to have problems. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Every time